Back for more of round 2 action. Army standing by with Gary Porter following that altercation with the barrier.
Gary, what do you have any idea what caused it to go like that?
Well, Army, you know, I knew I had to launch the truck really hard off the light, you know, to take Bigfoot out. And, you know, that's what I was doing. I was trying to go for it all. It hooked up really hard on the line. When I landed over the first set of cars, it felt sort of like a rear axle shaft broke or something. That's what made the truck turn. And, you know, when I felt it turn as bad as it did, I knew there was no use trying to get it back. You know, I just slammed on the brakes. I seen the pole coming up, you know, and I tried to turn away from it. And it surprised me how hard those water barriers are.
As we take a look at the damage, let us also mention Dan Runty turned in a 5.03 in that run. As we look at his teammate, there's Andy Brass in Bigfoot, and Brass will go up against the far lane Overkill with KIRK DABNEY.
Now, Dabney's teamed up with Marty Garza. Garza's out of the great state of Texas. He brings some knowledge from that side. Dabney comes from Indiana. He's a Hoosier. He brings some knowledge there, and together, they're going to be players before this year's over. They run the mid-motor setup. They run a new concept in suspension. They seem to be able to put horsepower down, but they're in the bad lane.
Whoa! Oh, but he pulls off the victory.
Made a fool out of me.
Well, he was a faster qualifier than Andy Brass, but Brass, because of the last round, had lane choice. But Overkill takes the victory. Andy Brass almost crashed there in the shutdown area.
Yeah, but the big story is what happened in No Man's Land. First jump, okay. No Man's Land, our groundhog cameras show you he was crooked at that last jump, Gary.
KIRK DABNEY wins it. He's with Army.
Good win, but more important than that, it came out of the left lane. How did you get it to work on the left side for you?
Well, Army, we go out there anticipating a hard run against Bigfoot. We really knew we were down on the lane. We just really put that out of our mind and give the truck 110%. That's what happened.
Can anybody else win out of the left lane?
I really don't know. I would say the left lane pulled around. I was a little out of shape. I'd like to be over in that right lane.
Well, there's a look at Fred Schaefer's Bearfoot, the Samson truck taking on Fred Schaefer. Unfortunately, the two Dodge teammates squared off in round 1, and it was Fred knocking off Guy Wood, who was driving the Dodge Express this weekend. There's a look at Fred Schaefer out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois. And here, once again, competition from round 1.
You know, in any kind of motorsport, there's a thing called chemistry. Pit crews have it, drivers have it, everything. Fred Schaefer lost the chemistry that he had last year. And that's not taking anything away from the guys he's trying to put in that second truck driver's seat. There's just something missing.
Well, Fred had to knock out his teammate to make it to round 2, and Patrick now in round 2, trying to back up that 498 from the first round, the fastest ever. The first monsters in the 4-second bracket.
He can do it. He's in a good lane. Oh, no!
Now, will that be a DQ?
I believe so. The rules say both tires have to hit the object you're jumping.
There it is. It's official. Samson has been DQ'd. It was going to be a quick one. There's Fred Schaefer's Bearfoot at 5.25.
That was a good run at a 5.25.
The right here is where Samson gets disqualified, misses with the left rear. And now we're going to show you some videotape highlights of my run earlier today, Army.
What do they say? The difference between men and boys is the price of their toys.
Welcome back to Bloomsburg, where Ford Trucks present the McCarthy Tire Summer 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Nationals, where you'll find true trucking aficionados, and Army's with one right now.
Well, Gary, when you go to these events, you never know who you're going to run into. Hey, our old buddy Ed Bruce from Trucking USA showed up. Hey, welcome, Ed. Good seeing you.
Good to see you. It's great to be here. I heard this was the biggest and the best.
Oh, I tell you what, they're from all over the country here. And, you know, you get to travel all over the country each and every week. I do, too. I think the secret is you and I got the best jobs in the world.
It may be. You know, trucks have always been a big part of my life. Actually, I learned to drive on an old 1950 F100. That's been over 40 years ago.
That's when you were 1 year old, right?
Yeah, that's close enough.
I'll tell you what, we're getting ready to go some monster truck racing. Thanks a lot for coming. Have a great time. That's what jamborees are all about.
My pleasure, Army. Thank you, buddy.
Nice to see Ed Bruce here. As we're ready for semifinal action, we take a look at the Power Wheels Bigfoot against Bigfoot, Overkill, and Bearfoot. So a good mixture of trucks there, but the first pairing will be Bigfoot.
You get down into this thing, it's a Dr. Scholl's special. You know why? 3 of the 4 trucks got foot in the name.
So you get paid the big money for coming up with lines like that. Well, of course, you have this analytical expertise because you can tell us why that left lane has been so bad. All the winds coming from the right lane today. Army earlier looked through the left lane.
Gary, what we're looking at here is the starting line in the left lane of Bloomsburg. Look how deep they've dug down in the track. This is about an 8 or 9 inch depth on the right side of the passenger side of the truck. Now, come over here with me. On the driver's side of the truck, right here, it's only about 3 or 4 inches that's been dug up. So what that does is basically set the chassis. We may have found out why these guys are having trouble with this lane on the track. They're actually setting a little bit cockeyed on the starting line, so when they hit the first jump, it throws the truck out of kilter, and they never have a chance to recover it. Back to you, Gary.